Denis, I have so many questions. Most of them are about Dune, but I thought I'd start with a softball opener, which is, you've said that 2001 is one of your favourite films. But what would you say is the film that you've watched most in your life?
I think probably it's Apocalypse Now. Francis Ford Coppola, Apocalypse Now.
Smell! You know that gasoline smell? The whole hill. Smells like victory.
I saw that movie, I studied that movie, I saw that movie, a million times.
Not a short film.
It's a movie that for me is close to perfection and deeply inspiring.
You're in the asshole of the world, Captain!
And by far one of my favorite moments of cinema of all time.
When you love a movie like that so much, can you notice its influence on your own work?
As a filmmaker, when I shoot, I try to isolate myself and to work with the camera like if I was the first one, which is silly, of course, because I'm the product of multiple influences. But I would say that, I'm really trying to isolate myself. But it has. All those movies have a major influence on me, certainly.
So 2001, Apocalypse Now, what else would come close in the most watched factor, like in that list?
Probably The Godfather is a movie that I watched a lot.
You don't even think to call me Godfather. Instead, you come into my house on the day my daughter's to be married and you ask me to do murder for money.
Again, about the narrative, the dramatic structure. It's a movie that I have a lot of fun watching too. If we go too far away in this list, then we will fall into the guilty pleasure, and that's going to be more interesting.
Well, now I have to ask. If you're about to say The Minions, I cannot wait. What is your guilty pleasure?
I would say that I'm a major Bond fan. Yeah, and there's nothing like a good James Bond to cheer you up, that I would say.
There is no guilt in this room, in this country, in this world about loving James Bond. Do you have a particular Bond that you turn to? I noticed myself during lockdown, it was Roger Moore and a bit of Pierce Brosnan, but that's where I went, because I just went, you know what? I need to see an underwater lair.
Oh, yeah. But I will say that the Casino Royale, the first Daniel Craig movie, Bond, is still one of my favorites of all time, I will say, and Skyfall as well. Both, I went through these movies several times, I must say, and in difficult periods.
For sure. I think Dune has a similar trick, actually, where you can notice the audience gasp and like actually physically react to things that are happening.
Do you often dream things that happen just as you dreamed them?
Yes.
I must say the pain box scene is a particular highlight for me.
The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
I found it utterly chilling.
What's in the box?
Pain.
Talking about audience reactions, we're getting a lot of noises coming out of British people's mouths, which is a feat in of itself. Is that something that stands out to you as being a key scene where you went, I think?
It is definitely, it's an iconic scene from the book. It's a scene that, it's one of the first scenes that we did as we were shooting. And it's a scene, the atmosphere, the tension, the color palette. It's a scene that is very close. That's one of the scenes that I will say is very close to my original dream when I was a kid, when I read the book. It's like, and I remember having shivers directing it. It's also a scene that it was among the first days I was working with Timothée Chalamet.
Oh, no pressure. Hey, Timothee, welcome to the set.
Yeah.
It's pain box time.
Exactly. And I will say that I remember vividly making one of the shots and starting to dance behind the camera because he did deliver a performance right there that really stunned me. I knew that I had made the right choice, the right casting on that day. He's an amazing actor. Amazing.
Silence!
What else could rival it? Because I would imagine perhaps directing Amy Adams with a whiteboard in Arrival.
Human. I'm human. What are you?
I would imagine that's another one.
I would say that you're absolutely right. I will say that Amy, who has the whole movie on her shoulder, brought an extraordinary performance. I mean, Arrival owes everything to Amy Adams. I mean, she's one of the best actors I ever worked with, and there are several moments when she was interacting with the extraterrestrials in the movie that really blew me away. Yeah, there was like, but working with Amy again, that was a massive privilege.
I feel like everything that happens in there comes down to the two of us.
Yeah, it's a good thing, though, right?
That's the thing that I love about making movies in Los Angeles is to have the privilege of working with artists of that caliber, I would say.
I also think you like being challenged. I think you like difficult projects, because if you look at your past 4 films, it's just gone from Arrival, Blade Runner 2049, which would have given me a panic attack just as a concept, working with Ridley Scott, living up to the legacy, and then succeeding, and then doing the first half of Dune. Would you say that part of what drives you as a filmmaker is that sense of, I need to do something that's the next level?
I didn't choose in a way to make Blade Runner 2049. I was invited to do it, and it's not. I would have never dare, first of all, to come up with this idea, or to offer my services. I mean, to bring my candidature, my name. I would have. It came to me.
I had your job. I was good at it. It was simpler then. Why are you making it complicated?
Why don't you just answer the question?
What question?
I didn't figure you as one for bullshit.
First of all, I declined the offer at the beginning, and then it came back, and I became obsessed because it's Blade Runner is again, you're asking one of the movie I watched the most. Probably Blade Runner is one of them, by far.
It seems you feel our work is not a benefit to the public.
Replicants are like any other machine. They're either a benefit or a hazard. If they're a benefit, it's not my problem.
I love the idea of putting all the chips on the table to take. I think creativity is definitely linked with the notion of risk.
I always knew you were special. Maybe this is how.
The nature of the project. I'm not choosing project to be arrogant. I will say I'm not. It's not that. But it's true that the two last projects were quite ambitious, I must say.
Fear is the mind killer.
My Lord Duke.
Where the fear is gone, only I will remain.
If we focus on Dune again, and this is revealing my level of nerdery, a lot of conversations have been had about the sandworm, obviously. But I'd like to talk about the Ornithopter.
You have to be ready.
There is no call we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray.
Because for whatever reason, that unlocked a part in me where I went, that's exactly how I imagined it.
No, then lovely.
That's it.
I think that I wanted us not to express ourselves through design, but more to really try to bring the spirit of Frank Herbert to the screen. I mean, to be as close as possible to the descriptions of the book. So that's why when you are saying that when you saw the Ornithopters, it was close to what you had in mind. For me, that's the most beautiful compliment someone can give me.
Get everything with guns off the ground! Go!
But about design, I mean, every element of the movie brought pure joy to me. I will say that the frame kit is something that I'm pretty proud of. The still suit.
You've worn a still suit before?
No, this is my first time.
There's so much love that was put in the design of this movie, and we had time. I had time, and I had great artists working with me. So that's what I would say.
I am grateful that you didn't have the fight in loincloths. I'm very, very grateful for that. I think that was a good artistic decision. Just wanted to put it out there. And maybe a good idea not to have the villains all have red hair. That was also a nice move. As somebody who has many red-haired people in their family, I just don't want a big bunch of overweight red-haired people. That's the villains. Thank you very much. I'm going to wrap things up with an impossible question, if you don't mind, which is, I'm a film critic. I often get asked, I think sometimes quite absurdly, to defend cinema as a concept, going to the theatre and to see a movie on a big screen with sound, with the everything. What is your answer to people who question the validity and the ongoing popularity of the concept of cinema?
I would say that for me, the theatrical experience, the big screen is part of the language. Sure. Meaning that the way you shoot, the way you edit, the way the movie is being scored, the sound design, everything is done thinking about the theatrical environment. And it's just that there's nothing as immersive as the theater experience. And I think that as human beings also, we are not meant to be isolated. There's something unmatchable as the communal experience, sharing emotion, being an audience, we as humans, I think we need sometimes to become one together and to share. And there's nothing like cinema to go through this experience. And again, cinema is meant to be watched on a wide screen. And for me, it's at the definition of cinema. So it's voilà. That's what I think.
I agree. I think Quentin Tarantino once called cinema his church. And for me, it's that feeling of experiencing something together, laughing together, crying together, screaming, whatever. That's what makes it so special. But I have a small feeling we could go on for another 3 hours on this. So I'm just going to say thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Cut.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to keep up to date. You can listen to my Radio 1 movies and TV podcast, Screen Time, on BBC Sounds. And you can find these interviews in full on BBC iPlayer by searching Movies with Ali Plumb.